Hello you amazing people, welcome back to RXMemes. Today we are going to be diving into a different Reddit for this channel, and that is r/LetsNotMeet. I've been listening to these stories for years now. They're super creepy and really interesting most of the time, so I thought that it would be interesting to try this on my channel. If you like these kind of stories, definitely let me know. Or if you'd like to keep it to my usual content, also let me know. And let's get right on into it. Gay best friend gone wrong. Posted by user/Polish Flamingo. I have been a big fan of Let's Not Meet for a while, and always thought this story that happened to be when I first started university would fit in. My first day moving into student halls, I was greeted by a very friendly guy called Dominic. He was very camp and obviously gay, but I didn't have a problem with that. He offered to help me unpack my room, then go for a drink with me. Although I thought this was a little overfamiliar, I was delighted that I had made a friend so quickly and accepted his offer. He put a tremendous amount of effort in helping me put everything in the appropriate places in my room. He then went for a drink at the student bar. I made a point to tell him I was straight, as I suspected he might have a bit of a crush on me, hence why he was being so nice. However, he didn't show any signs of dismay and continued chatting to me. I liked him a lot. He was very intelligent and interesting to talk to, and I was very pleased that I had a new friend already. I was worried that I'd be lonely in the university dorms. He didn't live in the same building as me, he just lived across. I was studying creative writing and he was studying business, but we started to hang out a lot. Although I liked Dominic, I did start to find him a little overbearing. He would send me texts and message me on Facebook all the time, and would get upset if I didn't reply, even if it was only for about 5 minutes. He would always want to know what I was doing, and if I disappeared off Facebook for a while, he would want to know where I'd been all day. One time, I even sent him a text mentioning I was on a train, and he texted back, "Why are you on a train? Why am I not invited to wherever you're going?" I was on my way to my part-time job. I made quite a few other friends, and he would always show visible signs of displeasure whenever they were around, and whenever I talked to him about them. He would tell me he disliked them and that I shouldn't trust them. He was very possessive, and I personally can't stand clingy friends, so I tried to distance myself from him a bit, but the more I pulled away, the tighter he held. I still hung out with him and still cared about him, but I was starting to worry about where this friendship was going. I was pretty sure this guy had a crush on me, and soon my suspicions were confirmed. I met this girl at a party I went to called Anna and asked her out on a date. She accepted. I was really thrilled and told Dominic about it. The second I told him, his face fell. "Why are you going on a date with her?" he asked me, sounding very worried. 'Cause I want to," I said. "But I'm going to be jealous," he said. "Please don't go, it'll really hurt me. You wouldn't want to hurt me, I'm your best friend." I had never actually told him he was my best friend before, and I found the way he was acting now both annoying and a little creepy. "I'm sorry, but I told you I was straight before, Dominic," I said. "We can still be friends, but I'm not going to stop dating just for you." He remained sulky and miserable the rest of the night. I told myself that he'd have to accept it and get over it soon. But when I was on the date with Anna, I kept getting phone calls from unknown numbers. I answered at first, but I couldn't hear anything on the other end. It was just as though someone was listening. I started to ignore the calls, but you would not believe how frequently they were coming in. They were coming in non-stop, and I couldn't even tell the time because they seriously would not stop. I had to put my phone on airplane mode. After about an hour of my phone in airplane mode, I switched airplane mode off, but the very second I did, the calls came in again. Although I was unnerved, I enjoyed my date with Anna, and we agreed to meet up again. When I got home from the date, Dominic was waiting outside my dorm, his phone in his hand. "Was your date? Do you like her?" he asked, sounding miserable. "Yeah, I do," I told him. "Was that you who kept calling me?" "No," he said, but he was obviously lying. "But anyway, I've been waiting to tell you. I hear Anna's a massive slut. She sleeps around with loads of guys. You should stay away. She'll break your heart." Anna had no mutual connections with Dominic, so I asked him how he could possibly know about this. He just told me he'd done his research. I was angered and told him it was none of his business and that I'd find out for myself. He started crying, saying how he was just worried about me, and stormed off. I think he was hoping I'd follow him, but I didn't, and went to my room, angry that he would try to interfere in my life like this. I have had unrequited crushes on friends before, but if they don't feel the same, I never try to force it. Dominic only got worse. When I got back to my student room, Dominic had sent me screenshots on Facebook of a conversation he had allegedly had with Anna. The messages showed her boasting to him about how she was using me and how she was planning to break my heart. Obviously, this didn't ring true at all. as number 1, how would she even know who Dominic was, and why would she message him? And number 2, why would she tell a friend of mine so openly what her plans for me were when he would obviously show me? I demanded that he show me the conversation from Anna on his computer screen with me there, but he told me he had deleted the conversations because they were too upsetting for him to read. I knew right there and then that Dominic was deliberately trying to ruin my relationship with Anna through incredibly deceitful and despicable means, and I told him that I wasn't interested in him, that I never would be, and that he better stop right now. He told me that I was being a terrible friend, all he was doing was trying to look out for me, and that he couldn't believe I was believing a stranger over him. I was seriously pissed off with the way he was selfishly trying to manipulate me now, and blocked him on social media. He started sending me constant texts and calling me nonstop every day, telling me things like he was so depressed over me, that he'd started taking heroin, and that he was contemplating suicide, basically trying to make me worry. He would also constantly send me texts saying he knew Anna was cheating on me. Me and her started dating properly, and that I had to come to my senses. He was creeping me out so much that I went to stay with my parents for a bit as I wasn't comfortable living in the same area as him. I had to block his number because the phone calls were so constant. People from my university dorm were sending me angry messages because Dominic had told them a really twisted version of what was going on, making them think that Anna was a dirty, STD-ridden whore who I had betrayed him for. It then turned out that he had been lying to everyone, telling them that me and him were in a romantic sexual relationship, and that I had cheated on him with Anna, then left him for her. Furiously set everyone straight, told them that I had never been in a relationship with Dominic, and that everything he told them about Anna was bullshit. Most people believed me, although it took a while to convince everyone that Dominic was the liar. He was very manipulative, and although a lot of his lies were ludicrous, he was very good at making himself sound legit. I decided to go back to my university dorm after a while, as it was inconvenient for me to stay at my parents' while at uni. Their house was far away from it. I arrived back there quite late, as I really didn't want to run into Dominic. I was so angry about him, and I had a new girlfriend and studies to think about. Yet, because of his fucking obsession and harassment, he was now all I could think about. In a very twisted way, I think this is what he wanted. Positively or negatively, he wanted me thinking about him. When I got back, I just lay down on my bed, thinking about what to do when suddenly a fucking brick came flying through my window. I jumped a mile and rolled over the side of my bed, hiding there for a moment, thinking it was burglars coming in or something, but nothing more happened. Once I got over the shock, I cautiously stepped over the broken glass and tried to look out the window, when I got a phone call off a number I didn't recognize. I answered it, and it was Dominic. And you will not believe what he said. "I just saw Anna throw a brick through your window and run," he shouted. "I told you she was bad news. You should have listened to me. I told you." You would not believe the rage I felt. I was so angry I couldn't even speak for a moment, but then I just exploded. I screamed at him that I knew it was him and that I was calling the police right now. He tried to protest, but I hung up on him and immediately called them. When they arrived, Dominic was not in his room, but when it was opened up, a large stash of illegal drugs was found there. The manager of my student halls assured me that he'd be getting kicked out for this, and the police said they would be getting in touch with him. After this, I never saw Dominic again. I changed my phone number and never unblocked him on social media. A couple of times I was tempted to out of sheer curiosity, but decided it wasn't worth it. I think he dropped out of the uni, but I don't know exactly what happened to him. My relationship with Anna didn't last. She was never quite clear on why she ended it, but I actually suspect that Dominic's freakish behavior scared her off, even though it wasn't my fault. Ah well, life goes on. Dominic, I hope whatever issues you're going through, you sort them out. And I hope you find a guy who actually does want to be with you. But please, let's not meet again. Alright everyone, that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it. Once again, if you do like this subreddit, let me know. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!